Okay, so I've got a cam belt and water pump kit on a KA 1.2. Do the time belt and water pump here. Do this job properly, you need locking tools. It's a CD model number. You can get other brands, but you will need this plate to slide into the camshaft, and this plate to hold the crank. Now, it will require you to take off the rocker cover itself because the plate slides in. This is a floating cam sprocket, so the cam sprocket gets undone, holding the cam in place. A lot of people will just do it with paint pen, but you really want to be doing it with these tools, because nothing goes slack afterwards. So the first thing we're going to do is get our air box out of the way, and then start looking at getting our top cover off so we can see where we are with the cam. We need to remove our engine mount, take our drive belt off, slacken off the alternator. Then we go from there, so start getting these bits and pieces off. Come back. Okay, airbox, 2 10mm bolts, and a 5mm Allen key in there. Now you can wheel pull up on the airbox. You will have a breather hose, this hose connected underneath, so be careful. Pull up, you see, there, he's pulling off. Back as well, here. That's pulling off as well. And the airbox is free. Now take the core back off, 2 10mm, and pull the leads off. Okay, core back's off. You can undo this 10mm here, this earth strap, and undo these nuts. We can lift the ECU off and out of the way, so we can get to the bracket underneath, because the bracket's got to come off to get this off. So we'll get this off now. You can unplug these if you need to, but you can usually just put it out of the way. Okay, we've got our ECU off, undone our plugs. Need to disconnect the wiring. Any wiring that's connected to the bracket needs to be disconnected. Take the earth strap off. Need to come under here now. Disconnect this plug as well. This bolt will hold this bracket for this on, so undo that 10mm down there, that'll release this. Then you've got another one right there, mark there, and then one down there behind this cam sensor. So we need to get the cam sensor unplugged, get this bracket off so we can get in under this cover. So I've unbolted that bracket, pull off now. See, this one is a stud, sits there. We've got another bolt off on the top. Then one, this is the one that holds the bracket on this cable, and just out of the way. Now we've got access to our top cover. Just undo. Get this out of the way, yellow tab out, push down, pull off. And then we can start getting the top belt cover off. Let's get this off, see what we've got inside. Okay, I've unplugged the sensor. Top belt cover. The bolt behind us there, on the back here, one on the front, and here. This cable will run through the channel. Let's pull it out as well. Pull the belt cover off. As you can see, this belt is very shiny. Now we're going to look at getting this off. So, yeah, 8mm bolts all around. Pull the cover off. Anything that's attached to it under 8mm bolts. Pull the top cover off. Might need a bit of a tap because you break the seal. Okay, so now I need to get our drive belt off. Now I need to loosen our bolts on our alternator to get it loose. It's come through the wheel arch, undo this cover that is covering crank pulley and the belt. And you need to get this bolt here on the alternator, 16mm, loosen it. And here you've got a 17mm nut and another 16mm just down here on the front of the alternator. Yeah, loosen. Once you've loosened all these 3 bolts, the alternator will pull forwards. You can then take drive belt off. Drive belt just come off. Now we need to take the engine mount off. So we need to support the engine underneath the jack. So we get a jack underneath it on the sump, block of wood between it, and then we'll undo these. Get the engine mount out of the way, take the side engine mount off, and we can get into the belt cover. Okay, so undo our nuts, take our engine mount off. This one, bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, then bolts out the side, take that off as well. Now you can see our bottom cover. I need to get this off. I need to get this pulley off as well. This pulley is going to be 3 13mm bolts, and this, give it a tap. Be careful of the ring on the back. It should come off of the main crank. Do not undo this, just these 3. Do not undo this. And then we should be able to get our bottom cover off. So we get these off, get this off, and then we'll look at our bottom cover. Okay, 3 bolts out, pulley is off. There's one more bolt up here. Need to undo this 10mm, and this cover should come off. Down here, bolt in here. Undo that, and then we should be able to pull this cover off. Get it off now, and we should be able to see our whole timing belt assembly. Right, now we need to tighten the engine up. So the idea is to rotate the bottom crank pulley around until we can slide this into the end of the cam. You'll see there's a notch cut out in the cam, which that will slide into. It will go all the way home and bolt down, and then you've got this, which is the crank locking, which you can see the indentation lines up with that indentation. So the idea, when this goes on, the indentation sits in there, and you can put 3 bolts in. Now, that bolt hole there is the bolt you took out for the cover. So you need to put the bolt through that hole and bolt into there. So when it's locked up, that's what you should have. Put the bolt back through the hole. Need 3 bolts here, and tighten them down. Make sure your indentation is in the right place, and then you put your 3 bolts in to hold it in place, and then knock this in. So I'll get that done now, and we'll come back. Okay, so we've tightened them down, and they're up in there, and slid the bar in. See, it's in the notch. If you look as well, this notch here is facing upwards, so it's now flat against the cylinder head. If it was 180 degrees out, this would be raised, and it's flat. Another indicator. Look on cylinder 1, you can see both cam lobes are off of the lifters, so that means both valves are shut. Now we can take our belt off. So 13mm on the tensioner, loosen your tensioner off. So the tension comes off the belt. Take our belt off. Pull it off all the cams, pulleys. As you can see, cracking on the belt. It's due a change. Not in an ideal condition. So we're going to get this changed. We're also we've got kits, we're going to be doing the tensioner. The tensioner will come off. If you had any idler pullers, you haven't. This is the water pump. Again, we're going to change this as well. So we need to undo the bolts for the pump, which is here, here, and the one underneath there, and on the other side. Get this unbolted. Obviously you're going to get coolant come out of this if you haven't drained it, so container underneath to catch it, get this out, and then we'll be ready to put a new pump in and get a new belt on. Oh, got a new water pump fitted. The old one, there is no gasket on this. It's instant gasket, so you need to clean the face up and then re-instant gasket. And bolt it back in. And then put your belt back on, start from the bottom pulley, bring your slack up this way, around the top. Make sure you're tight on this side between the crank and the cam pulley. The slack all goes this side. Tensioner, to do this up so it's almost touching, and to tension it you need to get 2-pin tool, or you can use circuit pliers in there to twist. And you're looking to line up basically those two cutouts there and there. That will move and they will line up. When they're lined up, you lock that centre nut up. So we'll get that done now. Okay, so as you can see now, we've got it tensioned up and the two tabs are aligned. So now our belt is tight, tensioned. We can now take our locking tools out and start a reassembly. Only take your locking tools out if and when you've tensioned the belt up. Okay, we've got everything bolted back together now. Covers back on, wiring looms, ECU back in, battery back in. Top it up with coolant. Job's done. Start her up, and let her idle for a little while. Leave the coolant through. So do the cam belt and water pump, and the 1.2.